Hi, my name is Cheyenne and I make videos on how you can be healthier and wealthier based on scientific and biblical principles that I have learned throughout my life. We're going to be talking about 5 different ways that we can make sure that we do not face financial disaster in the future. These 5 different ways are not going to be a cure-all, but it's going to be a start. If you have no idea what you're doing and you don't think that there's any hope, then this is going to be a big start. This is baby steps edition, like I said. So it's going to be really small ways that will eventually make a big impact in your life and just making sure that you have a more secure future. Of course, we're going to do some stats just because in case no one knows exactly what situation we're currently in the US. And this is for the US, but I'm sure it could be used in various parts of the world. This is the federalrelease.gov. Now there's lots of sources out there. Overall financial well-being. The share of adults doing okay financially or living comfortably was similar to 2023, yet remained below the recent high in 2021. Inflation continued to be a top financial concern, particularly the price of food and groceries. Yeah, it's pretty up there. As in previous years, adults with at least a bachelor's degree continue to report higher financial well-being than as adults with lower levels of education. Differences in financial well-being across racial and ethnic groups. It'll show, I'll probably insert some of these just because it's kind of interesting. Across the board, 29% of adults said they were worse off financially the year before, so 2024. They're worse off in 2025, they're saying. So I want to do how are Americans doing financially by USA Facts. It said that 70% of Americans reported they are at least doing okay financially in 2024. This is financialhealthnetwork.org. It says the data clearly show financial health in America, especially that of moderate and low income households, remain precarious and is influenced by reliance on credit to stay afloat. While receding inflation and lower interest rates will likely have some positive impact, Pulse findings over time reinforce that we need system-level change from industry and policymakers to realize significant lasting improvements in household financial health. Overall, between 2023 and 2024, households with credit card debt saw a decrease in paying bills on time, 60 to 57% having savings for at least 3 months, 40 to 37, and managing their debt 51 to 48. In contrast, households without credit card debt maintain steady day-to-day indicators and increased confidence in long-term goals, 49% to 54%. Encouragingly, both groups reported more frequent planning ahead in 2024 than 2023. So that's good. People are starting to plan a little bit. So it isn't all bad. So when we read about this stuff, I think that I noticed that not everything is bad. If you're specifically looking for, oh man, people are struggling really hard right now, then you will find articles on that. I just wanted to see what it was that was out there when I looked at this specific search, which is the average American struggling financially? There's always more to this than what we're reading. Now at this point, I'm looking at some of the more recent updates on how Americans are doing financially. Now we're on urban.org and it's 2026 that this was written on April 2nd. Okay. The key takeaways here are nearly half of people in American families cannot afford the true cost of living. Urban research finds that 49% of people in American families don't have the resources to cover essential expenses to live securely in their community. The cost of essential goods and services is rising faster than the earnings. Since 2017, average earnings have grown about 43% nationwide. Over the same period, home sale prices have increased 81% and rent 54%. Woo, that's wild. The lowest cost Silver Health plan on the Affordable Care Act marketplace has risen 77%, and child care costs have grown dramatically. Rising everyday expenses, including energy and transportation, are adding new pressures on households. Residential electricity costs have increased faster than earnings across most or much of the country, leaving customers paying $40 more in December 2025 on average than they did in December 2017. Gas prices have also risen sharply, the national average growing by $1 per gallon since late February 2026. Affordability pressures are spreading beyond traditional high-cost areas. Many previously low-cost regions, including parts of Atlanta, Chicago, Columbus, Nashville, Western New York, South Central Wisconsin, and Central Florida are seeing costs for housing, healthcare, and groceries rise faster than in other areas. Ooh, it's got a really interesting set of stats here. It's saying the average home sale price is $486,000. The average monthly residential electricity expenditures per consumer is $154. These look really accurate just based on my life. Student loan delinquency rate 15.9%, mortgage and delinquency rate 2.6%. Average monthly rent $1,890, monthly price of health insurance $611, credit card delinquency rate 5.6, auto and rental loan delinquency rate 5.7, average annual price of childcare for 2 young children, $29,100. Average price of gallon of gasoline, 3.96. Average credit score. And let me know if you guys are comfortable sharing your credit score and drop it below. Estimated average monthly cost of grocery prices, $1,050. Average weekly earnings, $1,270. 49% share of people whose families lack the resources needed to fully participate in today's economy. Interesting. Brookings.edu article. In every corner of the country, the middle class struggle with affordability. The United States is home to some of the most expensive cities in the world, and middle class residents are struggling to afford decent life for themselves and their families. According to our latest analysis, 1/3 of the American middle class cannot afford the cost of basic necessities as of 2023. It goes on. Who is in the middle class and what is affordability? People may consider themselves middle class because of the house they grew up in, the education they attained, or a comparison of themselves to the people around them, concluding that they are in the middle of the pack. These social indicators are important measures, but for the sake of consistency, most economists rely on income-based definitions of the middle class, typically the middle 60% of income earners. The argument is that this middle segment of earnings should be able to afford to live a comfortable life to varying degrees. Our definition of the middle class follows the economic assumption while also adjusting for geographic variation. Following the methodology from Brookings' Future of the Middle Class Initiative, we start with the tax policy centers. Income qualities which place the national middle class between the annual incomes of $30,000 and $153,000 a year. We then shift these ranges or down for all metro areas following previous methodology that considers regional price parity. Not even sure what parity means, but we're going to find out. Price differences across place. Oh, okay. And the average family size. Okay, cool. Okay, so we got some conclusions for this research on this particular website. It is drawing that in one of the richest countries in the world, 1/3 of the middle class does not make enough to afford basic necessities. The single woman living in Pennsylvania buying her first home, the Latino or Hispanic couple from Indiana running a local business, the Black parents in Texas starting their family. All of these faces of American middle class are struggling with affordability when they shouldn't have to. The promise of the American dream, living a comfortable life and leaving a foundation for future generations, is not materializing for today's middle class. That is really what I want to touch on today. The reason that we're going through this is because there's lack of education and collaboration amongst the people. We know we have this issue. We're not exactly sure what to do about it. And when we're presented with what to do about it, we are very skeptical about that because this is our money. We're not feeling like we're in a place where we can just explore and see if this thing over here actually works. We're in a place where it's like, okay, I know what I need to pay for this month. I've got it. I don't really have room for other things if I want to enjoy my life. The issue with that, and the issue with thinking along the lines of, okay, things are screwed, the government's messing everything up, the current president is doing whatever he's doing and it's making prices not to where people can live comfortably. Thinking this way puts in your brain this mindset of there's nothing I can do about it. And that is the worst possible thing that we can do for ourselves and for America and for our future generations, is to think that there's nothing that we can do about these problems that we have today. And the reason it's the worst thing to think is because if you think that there's nothing you can do about something, what are the chances that you're gonna try to fix it? It's gonna be really low. You're not gonna really want to try to fix anything or work towards any type of resolution if you have it in your brain that there's no solution. With that, I want to share 5 different ways that we can work towards making sure that we don't end up in financial ruin. And I will make another part of this video that is a little bit more intense, but this one is baby steps edition. This is for the people that are like, there's nothing that I can do, but there's a sliver of hope inside of you where you're like, maybe there's something that I can do that can actually make it to where I don't have to struggle like this forever. Your life might suck really bad right now. Lots of people have been there. Personally, I've been there to where things just are scary and it sucks. And it's like, man, will this ever end? It will end. There's just certain things you have to do. There's certain hurdles and mindsets that you have to get into in order to make sure that you never end up in that place again. And that's what this video is going to be about. But I wanted to make sure that we have a little bit of factual evidence along with just the evidence of what we can see around us, what we hear around us. You know, everybody's talking about the financial struggles. We all know it exists. Everybody knows the economy is wild, but we're not going to blame it on the economy. 3 different mindsets that are going to help us make sure that we actually do succeed at what we're trying to accomplish in this video. What we're trying to accomplish is to make sure that we don't struggle financially down the road. We start making improvements for today, things that we can do today, and we make sure that we don't ever have to face financial ruin in the future based on what we do now. And there's 3 mindsets that are going to help us do that. Number 1 is to have an open mindset. Because our minds are like parachutes. If they're closed, that thing ain't working. It is not going to work. Number 2, we have to think that there actually is something that we can do about this. Otherwise, we're not going to do anything about it. We're not going to be inclined to take a step to do any of the steps or any of the 5 things that I'm going to bring to you today. We're just not going to.
Okay, I may have made a mistake and completely had a brain fart. I completely forgot for a moment what the 3rd mindset was until now. The 3rd mindset is just take one thing at a time. Because we were not taught to think about these things, it's not possible for us to just know every single thing to do when it comes to this type of situation.
Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just jump into these 5 things. These are 5 things that I am currently doing myself and I have done in the past in order to make sure that I don't have to struggle financially. Because who wants that? It stresses you out and stress kills you. Number 1 is going to be make a plan. Whatever it is that you've got going on right now, you can get out a piece of paper. Really simple. You can get out a piece of paper, write down what your finances look like, write out what your plan is for a year or 5 years from now. The reason this is so important is because if we don't know what we're working with right now, then we're gonna have a harder time understanding what we can improve on. So that's a big deal. Just getting a plan, writing out what your expenses are now. If you have a plan to just get rid of all your debt, put in place something that you can do. The goal is to make this as simple as possible. So I'm just gonna read you like an outline of what a financial plan for like a 1 to 5 year plan. Set goals. What are your goals? So if you have debt, obviously you want to decrease your debt if it's bad debt. Saving, if you're planning on buying a car, buying a house, you need to put back a certain amount of money, a percentage of money in order to reach your goal, however much that is. That means budgeting, and then investments and debt management. So to start out, because this is just baby steps, a baby step video, just open up a Google Docs and just type out 5-year financial plan, 1 to 5 year financial plan. And then you can start with debt. And then you can start with goals. Just those 2 things. 5-year plan, debt, and goals. What do those 2 things look like? And then you'll be ahead of most people just by doing that small little thing. Okay, number 2, open an investment account. I'm not saying start investing right now. I'm just saying open an account. Because this is baby steps edition, we're just going to focus on the smallest little steps that we can take. Now, to open an investment account, you can choose from multiple different investment platforms. You can do Vanguard, you can do Fidelity, you can do Robinhood. There are so many different investment apps that you can do all on your phone easily. And that's exactly how I started. I just started with opening one up. I didn't even really think about investing because my mind thinks, oh my gosh, I have to figure out how to do all this stuff. But really, number 1, you could just download one of the apps. I use Vanguard because it has really low, it has like no rates. It's like really low rates. And what that means is when you invest or when you open up accounts, sometimes it costs money to do that. And with Vanguard, it doesn't. So that's a great place to start. If you want to go a little bit further, you can either, you can also go onto YouTube and you can look up videos about how to open up an investment account. I will go into depth about how I did that. If you're not even ready to download or open an investment account, what you can do today is I'll link some videos below about investing and what that looks like, and just starting to watch some of these videos and getting this going around in your brain is so much better than most people are doing. And you will thank yourself. It will start a snowball that will keep rolling, and hopefully you will start investing just by learning more about it. That's exactly how it worked for me. I did not learn about investing growing up. No one taught me, and now I invest. It's weird, but it's happening. And what I've learned is if you do not invest, then you will never have true wealth. You won't. And there's a very high chance that you will face some type of financial disaster in the future, and it will be very, very hard to bounce back from. So that is a little bit of the importance of investing. Number 3, learn about life insurance. Now, this has a lot to do with later on, but it also has more to do with not so later on, maybe more in the near future. And life insurance, typically we think of you gotta die and then you get to give this money to your family. But as time has went on, we're actually able to use something in a whole life policy called, or an index universal life policy called cash value. So there's a death benefit in a life insurance policy. There's a death benefit, and then there is sometimes a cash value in your whole life policies. And what that cash value does is it grows over time and it grows risk-free. When we were talking about investment, the definition of investing is risk. There is risk that comes along with investing. It may work, it may give you money, it may not. Now, if you invest in like the S&P 500, there is a very, 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 very high chance that it is going to give you what it is projected to give you. But with a life insurance policy and the cash value, it is going to give you that amount of money in that amount of time if it is set up correctly. And also you have your guaranteed death benefit. Now, there's also something to know about too called living benefits, but that's for another video. The point of number 3 here is just to learn about life insurance 2026. Google life insurance 2026, and you'll find a bunch of things that you didn't learn about and things that will make sure that you do not face financial ruin in the future. Okay, we're going to start this one off with a verse from Proverbs 13:20. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. So this 4th one is probably should have been number 1, honestly, but here it is. Number 4. Surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. Get around people that know how money works. Like my father-in-law. He's taught me more about investing than anybody has in my life. And I haven't even known him that long. And he's the one that helped me open up my investment account. And without him, I would have not done that. Lots of people don't really have people in their lives that are learning about this stuff or taking time to do it. And that is where I say, guys, it is 2026 and it has been the age of the internet for a good 2 decades now. And because of that, we have access to so many people, so much knowledge. If you don't like reading, we have audiobooks, we have YouTube Premium that you can just listen to stuff all day long. That's exactly what I do. I've constantly got somebody that is smarter than me, makes more money than me, and just lives a higher quality life than me, in my opinion. And they have goals that I want to achieve and obtain. And the only reason I've been able to be influenced by them is because of YouTube, because of the internet, and because of just the resources that I have available to me. We just have to use them. And so really the point of this number 4 is, if you do surround yourself with people that are wealthy and people that are educated on finances. That's why, like in my last video or my last point, I was talking about researching this stuff. Google it, look it up on YouTube, and just listen to these people talk. I talk to a lot of people and ask them out of curiosity, do they have a financial plan? Do they know this about life insurance? Do they know about investing? Do they have an investment account? And the truth is, most people my age, they don't. And the sad truth about the situation that I'm in, where I am seeking this knowledge about finances, knowledge about relationships, knowledge about my health, is that in 30 to 40 years time, a lot of the people that are my age now that I'm friends with and know and love, they're going to be struggling in ways that I'm not going to be struggling in. So if you're young like I am, please take advantage of these things that I'm sharing with you, because I don't want to see you in that situation, because I've seen people in that situation and I don't like it. I really don't like it. I don't like it for me, and I don't like it for you. So surround yourself around people that are striving for educating themselves, increasing their wealth, increasing their knowledge, making their health as good as it can be. Number 5, invest money and time in your education. I've been talking about this throughout this video on how it is so important to just use the internet and use the resources that we have to be influenced by people that are doing things that we would like to do, living a lifestyle that we would like to live, and just having the joy that we would like to have. And some of us, we're literally missing the foundations for what it means to live a joy-filled life. We just weren't taught. It's not something that is just automatically inside of us to know exactly what we need to do in order to live a really full, fulfilled life, a really happy life. It's not really in us to just automatically know exactly what to do. And so we have got to learn how to do these things. And one of the best ways to do that is to take a course. Get in a classroom with other people that are also seeking that. This works on multiple different levels of what we talked about as far as wanting to get yourself around other people that have the same mindset, to encourage you to just do the things that you want to do. It's really hard to save money when you've got friends that are like, let's go to this concert, or you're in a relationship with somebody that cannot keep a job, or if you grew up in a family that was just always poverty stricken. It's really hard for you to change when you're in that environment. Very, very hard. So if you put yourself in an environment in your brain, like we talked about at the very beginning, and if you put yourself in a physical environment as much as possible to where you are able to learn about these things, you will inevitably change. These are all baby steps, but they are so huge when it comes to making sure that we do have a stable financial future. So number 5 is educate yourself. Constantly be learning. Invest your time and your money into education. There are so many different courses. I don't have any sponsorships at the moment, but I know there are so many different courses that you can take online in order to increase your knowledge around wealth. If you have a community college near you, take a business class, take a economics class. Now, I think that there are way more beneficial things that you can do out there other than college courses, but those college courses get you around people that are also seeking what you're seeking, hopefully. And so it's kind of like a, 2 birds with 1 stone kind of situation. Invest in you, invest in your education, use your time and your money so later on you will thank yourself. I will see you next time.